Hi, and welcome to Rockstar Millennial Podcast. Today, we are so grateful to have Miss Kelsey Meek here with us. So, Kelsey, tell us a little bit about who you are and what you do.
Yeah. My name is Kelsey Meek. So professionally, I work for Renewal by Andersen. We're an affiliate location. We're over Central Illinois and Quad Cities territories. And my title is Business and HR Manager. So during that, I really just kind of oversee our operations, oversee the people, our employees, and really just trying in all of our kind of facets of the business, really making sure I'm maximizing that productivity and efficiency.
That is a huge job.
And personally, the real work comes in.
Tell us about the other part of your life, Kelsey.
I'm a wife and I am a mother of 2 under 2, and that 2 under 2 is where throws a nice little fun mix.
Yeah, and a girl and a boy.
Yes, a girl and a boy. So they're unbelievably different, but the best, but very different.
Yes, and just there's a story every day. Every day there's something.
That's most of our talks, no.
Yeah, which is, wonderful. So tell us, very busy work life. When we talk about these 2 locations of Renewal by Andersen, one's in Central Illinois, Quad Cities, Iowa, so they're not like neighboring communities. You've got 2 locations in 2 different states. You're back and forth to both. You've got teams at both places, managing the business, the finance side, the HR side, the sort of visionary strategic side, going forward.
Is that all?
Is that all?
Well, it doesn't feel like that day to day, and then when you say it, it kind of
that kind of sounds like a lot.
A lot there.
So tell me, how do you blend that life? How do you manage the work life and non-work life and keep your sanity?
Like we've talked, embrace the crazy.
Life
is a crazy train, but it is the best. Making lots of lists, really keep myself task focused, of course, but nothing in life goes perfect.
No.
And so if you are flexible in the moment, that's been the biggest asset I've learned in the 5 years I've been with Renewal by Andersen. Being flexible and just kind of going with the flow and making the best, and, our people that we work with, but just embrace the crazy and do what you can in the moment.
Yeah, and give yourself some grace. And that
always, yes.
Yeah. And some nights it's okay to have chicken nuggets for
dinner. We talked about, they're pretty healthy for you, so I don't have that mom guilt anymore of we're having chicken nuggets again.
So, and some of that, as you say, some of that we kind of put on ourselves. The mom guilt we create.
Yep.
And we're the ones that hold ourselves accountable there. And just releasing some of that is an amazing gift.
Absolutely. No. And that's, like we've talked, especially when they're 2 and 2 and 8 months old, they just love that you're there to play with them, and they don't know, the little things, the laundry's maybe not be done or something. So
they just want you.
Absolutely. And that's we're watching Teletubbies and we're playing our games, and I'm like, I'll get to the laundry later.
Yes. Good on you. Good on you. So tell us, how is it? Tell us about your purpose.
Okay.
And tell us how you're living in this whole chaotic, busy life.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So you and I have kind of talked, servant leadership's kind of the big push and what I've been really trying to embody. And that I'm just focusing on really, the well-being and the growth of our employees. So that's my purpose. Really the culture driver, another kind of big thing, and just really mimicking Sam Hare, our owner. He's great about investing in the employees. And when I first started, I kind of, you're being very nice, and what business. And I mean, not only seeing the growth in our employees, gives you purpose. The growth we've came from that little 1 location, 15 employees to near 100 employees now over 2 locations. And he has a great business resource for me because I see the return straight to the bottom, straight to the bottom line, straight in all the different aspects of our business. So.
And I think, and we've had those conversations, how you came in with your MBA and you're like, okay, let's hit the financials. Let's keep talking about the financials.
Change
and
management process. Let's get a vision. Let's, go.
And God bless Sam, who, has been that servant leader and continues to be. And now you see through the years, 5 years you've been there, and you see the growth and the transformation.
And our network is phenomenal.
And
when I first started, I was pretty lucky to be with a good group of people that really gave me the resources and all that type of stuff to kind of see what happens at corporate. But just the last year, I was able to go to a summit and really see on the grand stage of how wonderful our entire network is and the amount of resources through the other locations and our corporate locations. It's phenomenal.
And one of the great things that I see about Renewal, certainly I've seen it through you and your work, is that sharing. That you can call other affiliates and how do you do this and what do you do in your market? And there's so much collaboration and so much collaboration from corporate.
Mm-hmm. It's so much more than a window and door replacement company.
Yes.
I always tell my husband and I talk, because when I first started, I was just looking for a side gig, get my MBA, just needed a little something. Sam was very flexible with my schedule. And that now it's an opportunity of a life. The growth that Sam's allowed me to have, and then corporate, it's just will getting us another location and this potential growth there. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's one in a lifetime.
And one of the things that I see you do so very well, so I'm going to just brag on you for just one little minute. But you see the next need. You are one of those rare leaders who sees the vision, can articulate it, and then can execute it. And bringing people along, I think you've always had that idea that I can't do this by myself, and so you bring people along. But when you talked earlier about the culture and how important that was, as the company has grown and there are fewer managers and more employees, it becomes so evident, I've got to bring all these people along. And once they see the vision, and we're starting to see that now, how they're going after it.
Honestly, and I know everyone, kind of says this, but it truly, the managers and the employees that we have, that's the reason for our success. We have a great group of people. Mm-hmm. And we're people-centered. So we're people in what we do of trying to take the homeowner and giving them that world-class experience. But also then for our employees, we really are a premier employer.
Yes.
From what we give from an really employee value proposition and the importance that we do on the whole work-life balance.
And you really care.
And it's everyone. It's not just top down. It's across the board.
Mm-hmm. And that's what I see. And I see the different levels of leadership. And I see that I hear the dialogue.
Through all the different,
from all the different levels and the different locations. And no matter what's going on in someone's personal life, it's still important. Mm-hmm. How do you convey that to people? How is it that you genuinely show them? Right.
No, and it has to be authentic. Mm-hmm. That's the biggest thing, that when you and I have talked and had our meetings and whatnot of the culture, what does it look like and why, how did we get here and how do we replicate it if we were to ever grow? Just being authentic, listening to your employees, listening to the people that, your superiors and the people that just not even in your department.
Yes.
And just hearing, about their personal life and just making it an effort to, we do birthday cards. We just had a baby shower.
Yes.
Yeah. And these are little things. We didn't go above and beyond, had some bagels, some balloons, but it meant a lot to those people. And I've been on the other end of that of, I have people brought in cupcakes for my birthday and I just had a birthday and there was a nice card on my desk. And it's those little things and people genuinely care.
They do. And the fact that you know them and you know about them.
That's small business. And that, as we grow, that's the one thing that our owner is pretty key on, that we don't want to lose that personal touch.
Yeah. And I think he's very focused on that. And he sets that example, being out and talking to everyone and knowing them personally and knowing what's going on in their lives and what they might need. And we often talk about, what do they need and how can we help them?
Yes.
And having that whole servant leader focus.
And again, the business side of me, it translates straight and back into everything that we do, bottom line, everything. If people feel that they're genuinely cared about and taken care of, if they're happy on the personal side, professionally, they're going to be happy too, So
and have more to give.
People, right?
Yeah. So tell me, as a busy mom and business manager, how do you rejuvenate you?
Self-care has been the biggest thing that I've had, that mom guilt. right? Anytime I feel that I'm not doing laundry, doing a grocery run, I feel guilty. And when I had my son, I think you and I kind of talked about, I was like, when I broke my ankle.
Yes.
So just standing up, kind of just had a moment, I got lightheaded and passed out, happened to embarrassingly fall over a office chair on my way down.
Happens.
But my, iron was low and I didn't, know that, and just kind of was going. And then since that moment, I've been really focusing on self-care and throwing the mom guilt to the side.
Yeah.
And just self-care 100%. And that's just little things too, little 10-minute coffee break, going to the coffee shop down the street, or even, just getting my nails done, or just taking a moment just to read a book.
And even if it's just that moment, but taking it and claiming it. And we often say, what catastrophe happened during that 3 minutes or 5 minutes? Nothing.
Right. And that when it first happened, I was mortified, and now I'm just embracing the crazy.
Which is your mantra. And
Yes.
and I love that. So I think you've already answered this, Kelsey, when we talk about where you're making a difference. I know you're making a difference in your children's lives and in the managers that you work with, the employees that you work with. Where do you feel like you're making the biggest difference?
Our company culture. And I know we touched on it, but really just my efforts are really driven to that company culture and the network, Renewal by Andersen. I've been part of a council very briefly lately, but just allowed me to get a little bit more contact and communication of the resources that we have, and just our whole network, the difference makers, and getting in contact with them and really thriving, just getting excited about the information that I'm getting. And so kind of trying to do that same thing at our specific location.
Right. And so when we talk about the affiliate, the network, these are other locations.
Yes.
Yep. Independently owned, and
Across
then
the
some are
nation.
corporately owned. But how are you're learning and you're exchanging that information about what do you each do to develop that culture and that sort of thing. And it's a passion of yours, and it's very evident. And you're good at it. I mean, there's a reason they invited you on that council. And so, yes, keep sharing, keep growing, not just locally, but among the network too. Because others are looking at you as well and saying, okay, now those little folks in Illinois and Iowa are doing a good job of that. And here's something they're doing that we can replicate as well.
Yeah, I'm telling you, sharing best practices that people have done with us has been tremendous. So we'd be excited if someone would ask,
And share that too. So tell us what's next.
Oh, keep up with Sam.
With Sam.
Yes. He's always ahead of the curve and really forward focused. So really just keep kind of pushing our current markets and the capacity there, and just positioning ourselves for any future opportunities.
Just more growth and growth and growth.
Yep.
Yeah. And you're doing it. Yeah. You're just seeing it in front of your eyes.
It's like I said, 5 years and up to 100 employees is
from 15.
Yeah.
Incredible. So what encouragement do you have for other millennials?
My biggest kind of advice or encouragement would be to enjoy the moment 100%. I found just a brief period of just checking the boxes and just this to go to the next, what's next on my checklist and to-do list. And now I forgot to celebrate the wins. So that's my new mantra. And I think that if I would go back, just a couple years, that would be what the number one advice I would give to someone else. Enjoy the moment, celebrate the wins, make those genuine connections.
Yeah. Even if it's just for a moment. Even if we just stop and say, let's just revel.
Right.
Just revel just for that moment.
Because the things that we have done in the short 5 years I've been with Renewal by Andersen, looking back now, I feel I'm celebrating more than I did in the moment. And so now it's professionally, I've found a lot of growth from now taking that and kind of making that my new mantra.
Yeah. And more to come.
Yes, absolutely.
Well, thank you. Thank you for being with us today. And thanks to all of you for joining us. Stay tuned for the next episode of Rockstar Millennials.
Thank you for having me.